Project Nomad gives you offline Wikipedia, local AI, maps, education, everything installed onto your own hardware. And it's designed to work when the internet is down. But even without the internet, what if you wanted to be able to share all of the information in Project Nomad over Wi-Fi? Maybe because you're off-grid or you're part of some remote field deployment. We've had a number of people ask whether the Nomad server itself can serve up a wireless network that allows people to connect in directly. And you could probably make that work, but it's gonna take some effort, and then now your Nomad box is also having to deal with network services like DHCP and DNS, along with the actual wireless client connections. A much more elegant way to do the same thing is to use a tiny little travel router that's purpose-built for this exact kind of thing. The travel router handles your Wi-Fi, your network services, and it's also very flexible when it comes to whatever internet connections may or may not be available wherever you're deploying. Plus, travel routers are tiny and they barely sip power. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Project Nomad with a travel router so that you're ready for any deployment scenario, whether that's online or offline. All right, let's get started. Setting up travel routers is one of our specialties at Rogue Support, along with a host of other network design, setup, and troubleshooting tasks. So if you're looking for a way to keep your family connected while you're on the road, or if you're trying to make your boss think that you're at home when you're actually on vacation in Hawaii, Rogue Support can help. We've got a newly redesigned website and over 400 5-star reviews. So check out Rogue Support today. You won't be disappointed. So technically, yes, you can install Wi-Fi services onto Linux and then turn your Nomad box into a wireless access point. But I'm not gonna do that, and here's why. It's basically because trying to do that is super finicky, right? It's driver dependent, and then half the Wi-Fi adapters out there don't play nice with access point mode on Linux. And then, even if you do get it working, your range is not going to be the best because you're using essentially a wireless client device to become a wireless access point. And most internal wireless cards on a PC aren't designed to do that. Now, a small travel router does that exact same thing, but better in almost every single way. You've got actual antennas that are designed for broadcasting, you get proper DHCP and DNS, you get a firewall built in, and you also get a WAN port, right? So when an internet connection is available, you can plug it in, and now your Nomad box has internet and your Wi-Fi clients also have internet. But when the internet is not available, everything just stays local and keeps working. In this video, the travel router that I'm using is the GL.iNet Beryl 7, which has an MSRP of $139. And look at the size of this thing, right? It's pretty small. It's about the size of a deck of cards. You could basically just throw this in your bag and then forget that it's there, bring it out when you need it. As you can probably guess from the model number, the Beryl 7 has dual band Wi-Fi 7. It also has dual 2.5 gig Ethernet ports. One is for WAN and one is for LAN. And since it runs the GL.iNet operating system, you've got plenty of other WAN options as well. It's very flexible, right? You can do Wi-Fi as WAN and bypass any captive portal. You can also do tethering through your smartphone, or you can connect this up to a 5G cellular modem through USB. The Beryl 7 is powered up with USB Type-C, and it draws about 12 watts. And you might be wondering, can you just power this thing directly from the Nomad server's USB port? If your Nomad server has USB-C, they can typically push about 15 watts or more. So yes, you can absolutely power this travel router directly from your Project Nomad box. Now, if you only have USB-A, those typically put out about 4.5 watts, which is not going to cut it for this thing, but USB-C does work great. Or of course, you can just use the included power adapter. Now, for $139, this little device is actually overkill for what we need, but that just means that you've also got a really solid travel router for other stuff too. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get this device plugged in. The physical setup is super simple. It's just two cables. We have USB-C power going out to the USB-C port in the back of my little MSO1 mini PC here. And then we have Ethernet coming from the LAN port of the GL.iNet device into one of the Ethernet ports on the mini PC. All right, now on to the configuration. You can use a wireless client to find the GL.iNet wireless network. It starts with GL followed by the model number. You just connect to that network and the password is on the bottom of the Beryl 7. Or you can also just connect through the browser on the Nomad box itself, since that's already hardwired into the Beryl 7. Then you want to bring up the GL.iNet admin portal, which can be found at 192.168.8.1. All right, so here we can see that I have brought up the admin portal. The first thing it's going to make you do is set a strong password for getting back into it. Okay, and next. And now you can set up your Wi-Fi. Now it splits out 2.4 and 5 gigahertz separately. I'm going to call this Nomad as the wireless SSID with the same password, Nomad. And then I'm going to do the same for the other networks as well. Oh, it doesn't like the Nomad password. Let me do 123. All right, I'll take that. Nomad 123. Use a very strong password if you're going to be having this public. All right, so I reconnected to the Nomad SSID that we just created, and now we have our network guide, which tells you that you can set up Ethernet or repeater mode or tethering. What I'm going to do here is repeater mode, just so that we have some sort of internet access. Though you don't need internet access, this can be just completely offline and local to local wireless clients. But we're going to connect to the repeater, and I've got T-Mobile home internet, so we'll just connect to that one. All right, so there we go. We are now connected through my T-Mobile home internet 5G connection. We're using repeater mode, also known as Wi-Fi as WAN. But again, it's flexible. If I had a hardwired internet connection, I could plug it into the WAN port. I could tether through my smartphone. I could connect to cellular using a USB cellular modem. All sorts of different ways to connect, which is why this travel router is so valuable for a setup like this, because of the WAN flexibility. Now at this point, we're basically done, but let me show you one more thing. If I come over here to clients, here we can see Nomad 5, all right? That is the hardwired Project Nomad test server that I've got right here. I might want to turn on reserved IP, which means that anytime Project Nomad is connected to this travel router's network, it's always going to receive the same IP address, in which case it's, or in this case, it's 192.168.8.149. So I can go to that IP on port 8080 in the browser and it will come up with Project Nomad. Let me show you. There we go. So HTTP 192.168.8.149:8080 brings up Project Nomad. But you can also use the name of the device. So if we look at GL.iNet, we can see it's called Nomad 5. That's the host name that I set up on the box when I created it. So I should also be able to bring up Nomad 5:8080, which makes things a lot easier for your client devices that are connecting in. All right, so there you go. That is super easy to set up. And now you've got a completely self-contained Nomad server that anyone can connect to over Wi-Fi. If you want to take it a step further, you can also run this whole setup off of battery power to make it truly portable and completely off-grid. And if you'd like to see that, let me know down in the comments. And if you haven't tried Project Nomad yet, I just created a full step-by-step installation video, and I will put the link down in the description. Project Nomad is completely free, it's completely open source, and you can go install it right now. All right, we will see you in the next video.